Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Alec Karam, and I am here today to give you a real quick short tutorial on how to navigate the UI. So I'm just going to try to dive right into this and get to some of the pain points. I'm trying to remember from when I was a new player, but some of the pain points that I had starting out was the UI, and I saw a couple comments that
Minotaur,
said that it was
Raider.
difficult to follow through the UI. So just a couple of hotkeys. If you press M, you're going to get to your map. This is going to be your main focal point. So I'm going to do this one first. First things first, you have on the left side, you've got your user information or your character information and the in-game day and time. You have what location you currently in. This little button right here will reset you to your location on your ship. You can also press R. So if you move away from it, it'll snap you right back. If you use your zoom in and out, right click allows you to angle yourself up and down. Left click drags you around the map. And if you get disoriented and don't know which way you're going, you can just press R. It'll reorientate you over the top of your ship, and then you can find yourself again. Starting with the tab on the left side, we have our property owned. You guys are probably not going to have none of this, but you can sort it by name, size, hull, and sector. Next, we have your sub tabs. If you click on station and subordinates, you can see all the stations and their subordinates in this menu. Then if you click on fleets, oh, I don't have any fleets. Let me go make a fleet real quick. There you go. Now you can see that you
Entering
have
system.
fleets
Morning
here.
star.
Then if you go to unassigned ships, that's all ships that do not have a station or a fleet. If you go to ships with inventory, you can see I don't have any ships within an inventory, but this is where you can see ships that have an inventory. And then you have your deployables. This is all the things that are deployable, such as satellites, mines, and resource nodes. You can also rename these satellites so you can find something quicker if you need to. So for instance, I'll name this one top satellite, and now you can see top satellite in the list. Next one on the list is going to be the objects list. And in the objects list, you can
Entering
see
system.
everything
Heretics
that
and
is on your screen. So if there's something outside of your screen, you won't be able to see it unless you zoom out. Next one is your ships. This is going to show all the ships that are on your screen. Currently, I don't have any on my screen, but if we go over here, you can see that it will populate the list with ships that are currently visible. The last one is going to be deployables. It's the same thing. It's going to show any deployables that are visible on your screen. The next tab is your mission offers. So this is where you can get a mission offer in like this area is permanent missions. These will always show up in here under the storyline that it's following. So like for instance, I have Kingdom's End, which is the Boron storyline. The Argon versus Holy Order is you get that whenever you reach a reputation of 10. Now the mission manager is where you can see all your currently signed missions that you've picked up. The next tab is your upkeep missions. If you click on the drop down, you can see that it tells you what each one of these is missing, and it's considered a mission. The last one is your guidance mission, and all that is it shows you what your current guidance mission is that is not a mission. Next one is in the information tab. You can discover all this stuff by investigating the station itself. Same thing with the crew. You can't see any of it, can't see the loadout, and you can't see any logbook entries. Now if we go over to our station that we own, I click on that, then you can see all the information about this station. You can see the name of it, who owns it, which is you, the hull, radar range, how many dock ships, updating trade offers. You will see this whenever you have a high relationship with a faction. It will show up here that you are getting updated trade offers. Now if I go over here, I am not getting updated trade
Entering
offers
system.
because I do not have a high reputation with them. The only way to get that notification of updating trade offers is if you communicate with the faction representative and tell them that you want to do a trade subscription, and then you will indefinitely have all of their stats even if you don't see them. Because I have a constant updated trade offer, I can right click on this and I can look at the trade offers even though I do not have a satellite here. So you can see that I can see that they're buying everything here. If I go over to here, I can see that they're selling. So that's what a trade subscription is from the faction representative. Anyways, we're going to go back to our station. And you can see when you have a trade station of your own, you can see all of its information. You can see its station account, its funds for construction. I can accept that estimate and give it my money back. If you accept estimate, it will automatically set and confirm the station requirement amount. And I'm going to show you the trade rules after we get done with this menu. Station supply, same thing. You can set special rules. And this construction trade, you can set rules. You can set each individual trade rules for a station that you own. Your preferred build method. You can do universal, closed loop, or Terran. Universal. Now keep in mind, the preferred build method is only for shipyard. So this is not going to affect anything else except for shipyards and building stations. Now, in order for this to actually work, you can't just select Terran and it's going to automatically use Terran. So, for instance, if I go to plan build and I go to try to build a Bofu, right now it says universal. If I click on that and I go to Terran, click on Bofu, and I put it down, it is not going to actually use Terran only resources. So if I hit confirm module change, see how it says it takes electronics, energy cells, and hull parts and water. That is because this module is not part of the Terran ecosystem. Like this one, for instance, if I take this one, I drop this one down, and I remove this one, confirm module changes. See, now it's switched to Terran. It's a preferred build method. So it will not force it to use that specific method. It's a preferred build method. Same for this one. If I delete this one, confirm module change, it's Claytronics energy cells and hull parts. Because this is under the universal. So if you go into Encyclopedia on this Chelt production, it tells you the build methods that are available for it. So for the Chelt, only universal. For Talati, only universal. For Terran, only Terran. For Shield, only universal. So the reason why you can see multiple other things when you're looking at this is because some items have multiple. The only one that has multiples is going to be the equipment. So if we go over to the equipment and we look at engines, for instance, engines has universal, which will use antimatter, energy, and engine, and closed loop, which is Claytronics, energy cell, and hull parts. That changed. Antimatter, energy cell, engine parts, Claytronic, energy cell, hull parts. So that's just a little show of what the preferred build method is. That is specifically for station buildings and ship building. And it's a preferred build method. It's not a guaranteed. So if you want to use a closed loop system, you'll have to go and find, for a shipyard, you would have to go and find all the ships that use a closed loop method. Pretty much a lot of them are the closed loop because they use universal, and the universal for a ship is going to be the closed loop, even though it says universal. There is some, however, that would not qualify, like the Terran ships would not qualify because they're strictly Terran. Now, going back down the line, you have your manager. Shows you your information there. You got your storage. You can drop this down and it'll tell you your storage of your station here. And you have your storage of your build storage. So if you right click on this and go trade offers build storage, you can see it right there. Continuing down the line, we have crew. Same thing as the ships and the station both show crew. The loadout is the same. It shows the ship. So if I go look at this one, for instance, right click on it, hit inventory. You can see it shows me the loadout of the ship, the logbook, which the logbook tells you what it's done. So if I click on the station, right now there's nothing going on for the station. This normally happens whenever there's a requirement or something happens specifically to this ship or this station. So anytime something happens to a ship, Like if this got attacked, you would see that it got attacked. And this one, you can see right here, it found a lockbox. So that's just an example of the logbook. And then you have individual instructions, which these are can all be set as shown previously, but we'll dive deeper into that later on. And then you have the manage plots. So manage plot is where you can set up your stations, and this is how you build. I have a tutorial on station building. I can put a little pin up here in the top right corner if you want to go check out station building. The station building one's basic. I will be doing a more advanced one in the future based around stations. Now, if we continue down the line of the rest of this, we've already went through all of these tabs. Now we have these tabs up here. So you have your tutorials and help, which you can go through these and you can start the tutorial and it'll do a little in-game how to do things. You have your intermediate, which it'll show you the maps, missions, inventory. But a lot of people have been complaining that these are fairly outdated and are not up to date. I don't know how true that is because as you can see, I have not done them since my very first days in the game. But you have external resources as well. When you click on it, it'll take you to some outdated material. The wiki's fairly useful because it's constantly updated. The manual, I've never used this, so I don't even know. The forums, you can find some good stuff there. Now, if you go to the next one, the Encyclopedia, this one is going to be your bread and butter for learning anything about a specific item. So, for instance, if you go to station modules, we can see here, like I showed previously, you can see the max hull integrity of this item, so on and so forth. You have a timeline. The timeline is vaults that you can find around the world, and you can unlock and learn some lore of the game. Then you have your ship comparison, which you can add multiple types of ships. You're only going to see what you've discovered in here. You're not going to be able to see everything right off the bat, and this will tell you the differences between the two ships. You can see the stats between all the different ships, so you can make your own informed decision on what type of ship you want to pick up. And then we're going to move on to ship interaction. This one is just while you're inside of a ship. So for instance, you see how I can only see ship information? If I click on that, it's going to show my ship information for this specific ship, and it's going to bring me to the information category. If I go on to a seat, pressing enter will open your ship interactions menu. You can even see it there, hovering over it. It gives you the little hotkey there. Hover over this one, you see diplomacy. It says N. And then you have player information. This is another fairly big tab. So your player information gives you your details about you. You can name yourself here. So I can name myself. I can name my organization. You can select your logo. I have a whole logo pack in here, and I also added my own logo in here as well. There it is. So I can add that. Got your default skins. This is the default skins in the game, like the very first skins that you're able to get. You can collect more. That can be a future episode. You can select your color. Should I do green? And then this is your worth of everything that you own inside of the game and your average skill level of all your personnel. And then if we go to statistics, it tells you all your statistics of the game. You go here, this is your player inventory. This is all the stuff that you can see that you've collected. You got your safe deposit storage, which I don't have anything that's deposited. That is your HQ storage. And then your venture inventory. I can't access it because I don't have it turned on right now, but that's online play. That's a whole another ball game. You have your modifications, which this is, I'll probably do a video on this another time, but it will allow you to build modifications. But in order for you to do this, you have to do research, which I'll be showing that next. You have your ship upgrade parts, so you can see what equipment your suit has, your player suit. Your global orders, this is a very useful tool to use. This is way too much to go in depth. So if you want to see me do a video on all of this, let me know, and I can do another quick short video on this as well. You have your account management. This is what you can see all your stations all at once, so you can accept estimates. That's just so you can. That's a quick way to automatically allocate funds to station projects that you have going. Personnel management. This is a pretty good spot to go, and you can use this area for telling your workers to look for certain things. You can go to your captain role and you can sort it by skill, and then you'll be able to see who's your highest skilled captain. So this guy, I could take him and put him on a ship because he's not on one right now. He's a service crew. Same thing for Marines. You can see your highest skilled Marines. But you can go through here. You can find your best manager, your best Marine, your best service crew, and it will. So you can be able to move your best guys to whatever ship or station or whatever. Messages. This is where you'll get information of the galaxy at any time. Transaction log. This is your go-to location for money that you are receiving. So I've lost 2 million to my microchip Haven. That was because I transferred money to it. And then I've been slowly getting money and losing money. So you can see your ships are doing work here. Then your logbook. This is the same thing I showed you on the ship, but this is the compiled version of it all. So you can see all the logs of all your ships of what's been going on. Like attacked somebody here. Got a reputation gain here because of a trade was completed. This is where I tells you when your stations have come to drop below a certain amount of money. You can clear it if you want to. I think it auto clears after so long. I'm not 100% sure about that, but you even have a venture logbook too. Can't click on it because my online is disabled. But then you have the different ones. You got general missions, news, diplomacy alerts, upkeep, tips, and ticker. And that's supposed to filter, but it's not. Something bugged there. That's interesting. For some reason my logbook bugged out. Interesting. Now it's not working. I may have to restart the game to get that functionality back. So that's an interesting little bug. Never seen that before. But that is all of that. Those tabs that you used to see, you were able to filter the logs into certain categories. And now we're going to go into the research one, which was what I was telling you about before. In order for you to be able to use modifications, you need to have the research for it, which is specifically these mods. Once you unlock these mods, you can start using the mods for upgrading your ship past its default stats. If you want to see a tutorial on that, let me know. I'll probably make one anyways. Then we go to the diplomacy. I don't have diplomacy unlocked in this save right now, but you would be able to come in here and you can do trade. You can do diplomacy. Seen a couple of people already did a decent job at doing the diplomacy tutorials, so I might not do one. I would suggest just go looking up theirs because I think they would probably do a better job of explaining it than me. And then, of course, you have your options. Your options is pretty standard. But going back to the map, there was a couple of things that I forgot to show off. One of them was the filter settings for your map. So you have your other filters. If I turn off other filters, it will turn everything blue or red. So like these guys don't really like me, so it turned them red. Filter off. There's specific filters that you can do in here. As you can see, there's a shortcut, so you can do 1, 2, and 3 with the keyboard, and it'll turn things on and off. You have your trade. Activating that, you'll be able to buy certain things. So you can search for advanced, and you can see there's the advanced electronic pops up, and then you can see that this station, my station, is buying advanced electronics. For mining, it's specifically looking at seeing mining stuff on the ground. I covered that more in depth in another tutorial for based around mining. You can check that out. The little pin that I pop up over in the top right, most likely. And then others, it colorizes everything to a certain thing, but there's also additional things. As you can see, you don't see anything. But if you come over here to filter settings, you can see that now we have actual settings that is based on these. So you see I opened it up and now it showed the trade and trade filters. If I click on other, now you can see the settings that are used. So you can turn this off and you see how it changes the color. It changes it from their faction to their reputation. And you have your Gravidar. I don't know what that is, honestly. First time I've seen that, so I can't tell you exactly what it is. And highlight visitors is for online play. So if you do that and you have that highlighted, you can see other players' ships flying through your galaxy if you're connected to online. Note that online play you cannot use if you're in a modified save game. And use faction colors for HUD. That is so you can see it on your heads-up display. Oh, there it went. See how it passed by with the color of the faction? So yeah, that colors the factions on your HUD while you're flying around. Oh, and it also, as you saw there, the highlighted the highways as well to the faction colors. See how it changed it over? There we go. That's a good example. Then you have elliptic lines, which shows you how far they are from the center of the universe. So if you remove that, you see he's way down here. But if you're up like this, it looks like he's just right there on the map. But if you hit elliptic lines and you go at an angle, you can see he's actually further down than normal. So if you flew out from this gate, you would actually have to fly down to actually get to that person. Rex is so you can see on the world selection lines, points you to what you're selected to. So you can see I have my ship selected and it's pointing me to that ship. It only works for your own ships. It doesn't work on stations. Gate connections, that shows you the connection between the gates. You can disable that. And you can see that the gate connections have disappeared. No, they came back. Background opacity is though if you don't want to see, you can do that and it will completely blank out so you can't see what's going on behind it. And satellite coverage shows you the range of the satellite. So if you disable that, it removes it. You can also enable show orders for ships. It shows you all the orders that are currently happening. So you see this guy's going here. If you have allies, you can see the allied orders and where they're going. But you have to be I think it's either 20 or 30 reputation in order for them to be considered allies. And you can see mission offers and civilian ships. So if you turn off mission offers, I can't really show it because I'm not near one. But if you turn it off, it will remove the little icons that pop up next to them. Like dropping satellites or raiding a ship or all that stuff. You turn that off, you will no longer be able to see them. And then you have civilian ships, which will show civilian ships. I think this is specifically for hub, because I don't think you can see the civilian ships on the map. So I think it's a HUD option. I could be wrong. It's probably just because I'm not next to the station to see it. I think it's HUD because I've seen the ships on the HUD, and I've never seen them on the map. I could be wrong, but because I haven't really looked. But that's so you can see the civilian ships, which are station ships that's flying around the stations. And for the trade filters and the mining filters, I'm not going to go through them too much because I've covered those in other videos. So if you want to check those out, you can check those specific ones. I think trade offers filters I did in stations, and mining filters I did in the mining one. And then you have your legend. I showed this off a little bit when I was doing the mining video. So if I turn on mining, you can see right here, you can see the detected resources. It says it right here, detected resources. And potential resources is like over here. Can't really see this because there's not a satellite there, but there's potential resources there. You can go through this and it's just a legend of everything that's within the game. This is just a legend so you know what each icon is. And information is so you can see the information of what you target. So you can have a secondary information task instead of having it over here. You can have the property menu open here, and you can click on stuff, and it will show your information on the right side instead of being on the left side. So then you don't have to click on here and go here. So that's a useful little tool to be using. The last thing that I'm going to show in this video, and this one's kind of a big one, because not a lot of people know how to use this, and I just recently discovered how to use this using the inspection tool, the Behavior Inspection Mode. When you right click on it, it shows you for one specific ship the range of its detection and what it's looking at. So if I leave that, you see how the bottom part went away? This is a inspection mode to show what it's thinking. It's like an AI thinking tool. Right now, it says that there's nothing in this area that's matching trade offers. So it's also saying that because it's currently going there to trade. To give a better example of this, we're going to go over to the microhaven. We're going to go to this guy right here, and we're going to behavior inspect him. And as you can see, it's not trading with anything yet because there's no matching trade offers found based on what it's selling, which is microchips. Now, if we go way outside of its range, here, it tells you outside of max travel range. So if you're trying to figure out why a ship is not trading somewhere, like specifically to somewhere, you can actually inspect it and it will tell you the reason. So as you can see, it found a trade here and it found a trade here. So it found 2 trades that it can do that there's no issues. It will only populate if there is an issue here. If there's no issues, it won't populate. So this is a type of debugger in a sense. And for this one, if I behavior inspect this one, it's not going to do me much good because this specific mode that it's in, Prospector, it's not going to be able to show me anything. So it's telling me no trade offers found because it's not trading. So it's going to tell you that for items, for chips that aren't doing the specific task. But you can tell automatically, it tells you down here, no resources found in allowed sectors. And one final that I forgot to go over, which was ship interactions, I forgot to actually go through this, is you have your different ship interaction modes here. So you can actually trigger your travel drives here, your scan drive, long range scan, and your SETA here. And it even tells you the shortcut key next to each one of them. So it's shift 1, 2, 3, and 4. SETA is a item you will lock by finding it and doing research. Just a quick tip. Deploy civilian. You can deploy your satellites and your nav beacons. You can deploy military, but I don't have any on this ship, which is your turrets and mines. Flight assist. You trigger that. See how flight assist is disabled, and my speed is at 0, but I'm still traveling in this area. So if I boost myself all the way up to, say, 1,600 kilometers, it will slowly start going down because I've exceeded my speed, but it will stay there longer, and you can actually rotate around, and it will keep you disabled. So you can keep floating that one path. I call this Pro mode, but you can activate it and deactivate it by hitting Shift Spacebar. And then if you activate it while you're floating in one direction, your dampeners will slow you down going that direction and put you back to, supposed to put you back down to 0, but it still wasn't working. Oh, it's because I have flight assist disabled still. My bad. So you have steering mode, you have flight assist. Steering mode is shift spacebar, flight assist is control spacebar. And in the weapon configuration, this is how you can set up your weapons. If you wanted to just fire everything on one, you can select these, and you can have everything on the secondary. Your secondary is going to be R. So if you go here, press R. I'm out of ammo, so I can't do that. And your firing button is middle mouse button. And that way you can aim and fire where you're looking, which is the little dots behind my cursor. And turret behavior, you can sit here and you can control the different modes. So you have all of these, and I will probably do another video on this because this video's already gotten a little bit too long. But autopilot was what I was thinking of, where you can click autopilot and it will automatically fly you to your location. It will not dock you, but it will fly you there. And when you're outside of mouse mode, you can actually click up here and you can change these quickly to the different modes, but you should be able to disarm them. So yeah, they're disarmed. For some reason it's not working, but you can arm them and that tells you what their current status is. So whenever you're shift space barred in, you can go up there, but it's going to be kind of weird. So if you undo it, then you can come up here and you can quickly change them to the modes. And that's all I have for this tutorial. I hope this helps out fellow new folk. Not fellow, I've been playing this game for way too long. But I hope it helps out all the new people just starting out this game, and I hope it helps you understand the UI a little bit better. Thank you everybody for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.